Hello and welcome to this video update. It's been some time since you and I have had an opportunity to talk. The legislative session is beginning, and our vision this year for the session is to make sure that we move forward in education. Now, this is not a battle against public education. In fact, it's a fight for public education, because we understand that in many areas of this state, children do not have the opportunity they must if we're going to have a robust economic development workforce into the future. For example, just now about 46%, almost half of our children in the third grade can't read at a third grade level. Yet we socially promote them to the fourth grade. We've got to stop that assembly line and intervene to make sure that our children know how to read, to make sure that we're working with those children that are dyslexic and that have issues either at home or physically or emotionally that won't allow them to be promoted to the fourth grade. You see, there are many that are out there that need our help, and we can't intervene, we can't be successful. We need better teachers in the classroom. We're going to ask that every student that wants to be a teacher at least have a 21 on their ACT. Now, some say, well, that's going to cut out a lot of teachers, but on the backside of it, what we need to do is find those kids that make a 28 on their ACT and give them a full scholarship to teaching school. That would only cost $1 million a year for 100 kids that are coming out of high school, and another $1 million would provide 100 more students coming out of community colleges, kids that make a 3.5 GPA and a 28. Get merit pay involved. You see, we're not going to have across-the-board pay raises anymore for teachers. Those that are doing little, if not anything, to promote their class are getting paid the same as those great teachers that are out there moving this state forward. So we ought to have merit pay. We've got superintendents who are willing to be a test, if you will, a pilot program for this, and so we're going to move into those areas. Opportunity scholarships that will help kids that are in failing school districts look at non-public school opportunities. It worked in Florida. As a matter of fact, Florida saved over $30 million with scholarships where businesses and individuals contribute to an opportunity scholarship fund. Many more opportunities lie ahead of us if we just directly go to the classroom. If we say we need a better teacher, that we've got to put stronger demands upon our students, and to do so we're going to have to invest. My EBR, my executive budget recommendation, put about $24 million into education. It level funds MAEP and then adds to our specific goals. Now, as regarding the budget, I've asked again that the legislature only spend 98% of the money. See, a simple idea is don't spend everything we're bringing in, and that 2% needs to go into a rainy day fund, along with another set aside, the accelerated tax program, where we make businesses pay taxes in advance. If we stop that, our budget, my EBR, moves forward about $135 million into FY14 and 15. It will move those $135 million ahead each year, so that we'll have a reserve. Now, I ask that we fully fund the National Guard, the Highway Patrol, and MEMA. I was there on the front line during Isaac, and I saw these first responders. It's irresponsible not to have our Highway Patrol, our National Guard, and MEMA fully funded, as we could easily have another hurricane as we did after Katrina and Isaac. It is never easy to fund corrections. No one wants to put more money into prisons. But if we don't do it, convicts are going to be back on the street threatening your safety and your homes and your property. I'm going to ask the legislature again to help us level fund and add to the Department of Corrections. Convicts need to know. Those that break the law in the state of Mississippi need to clearly understand that we're going to keep you in jail. You're going to do your time if you're breaking the law, but to do so, we've got to make that investment in corrections. MDA, our job creators, our tourism, we must continue to support economic development in the state of Mississippi. Now, the executive budget recommendation this year looked at some 19.6 reduction. Now, we can always do a better job, and if we're spending money at MDA that should go for other responsibilities and in other areas, I'm certainly willing and eager to sit down and talk with the Senate and House leadership. But to underfund MDA, to send the message that somehow we believe we can take a 20% cut at the Mississippi Development Authority is something that's disappointing. We've got to work hard to be in competition with other states, the Floridas, the Tennessees, the Alabamas, the Texans, who are out there incentivizing businesses. Not only are they incentivizing businesses around the world, but more importantly to me, homegrown Mississippi businesses that need our help with tax credits and tax cuts. So we're going to wrap this up. It's going to be an exciting and demanding legislative session. But we are working together with a great Republican Lieutenant Governor and Republican Speaker and majorities throughout the House and the Senate, and reaching out to our Democratic friends who understand good government. We will be successful, and we will need your help. Now get involved. Make sure you talk to your legislative leadership. Let them know what you believe. No more new taxes. That's the first stand we need to say. My budget has no fees and no new taxes. We're going to fight hard for you in this legislative session. We'll see you next time on these video updates.